On this episode of the NIMBY War Room, I'm going to share a secret with you that the NIMBY opposition does not want you to know. They don't want you to see, because when you do understand what they're trying to hide from you, you'll never look at the NIMBY opposition the same ever again. And it's going to change how you play the game and where you're going to play to win. Let's get to it.
Initialize program.
Welcome to the NIMBY War Room. I'm your host, Patrick Slevin, where I share my 30 years of experience in not only defeating the NIMBY playbook, but also empowering developers with insights, know-how, and knowledge that's going to help them and has helped them win more approvals for their controversial projects. So what do I mean by the secret that the NIMBY opposition doesn't want you to know? They don't want you to see. That's why it's for your eyes only. For those of you who are going to see this video, you're going to have a paradigm shift that's going to not only help you understand the nature of the NIMBY playbook, but give you a new perspective that's going to help you look at the chessboard and with a new perspective that's going to empower you to not only know how the pieces move, but when to move them and to get a checkmate every time you're going through the application process. So this secret is something that has been kept from the development industries for decades, and it's been out there every once in a while. Sometimes it hides in plain sight. Certainly it's not a secret to the clients that I've worked with. And now here in the war room, it's going to be now your arrow in the quiver. And that secret is, what the NIMBY opposition is aware of is developers play not to lose, while the NIMBY opposition plays to win. And what do I mean by that? It is this conventional thinking that is prevalent throughout the development industries. It's that flying under the radar fear of failure. Right? No one wants to fail, including myself, but we all have experienced that and we've learned from it, right? But this is something that drives on the other side of the equation the success of the NIMBY playbook. The opposition understands that a developer is going to come in, try not to draw any attention to themselves, and exposes their project now to being demonized by the opposition. And so that's why the NIMBY playbook does not want you to be aware of this conventional thinking. So what we're going to do, we're going to change that. We're going to change that to where you are now starting to play to win and in an aggressive fashion that's going to give you more success. So let me give you a stat. And it's qualitative, but it's been consistent for the 30 years that I've been in this space. Over half of the NIMBY projects that have been NIMBY'd, right, that have been defeated, weren't defeated by the NIMBY opposition, but defeated by the developer themselves. And so what I'm meaning by that is there's been a lot of mistakes, missteps, and miscues because of this conventional thinking. This playing not to lose really does hamstring any kind of viable project. And so when I'm called on to a project, more often than not, I'm trying to identify and then mitigate the missteps and miscues that the developer and his team have sequenced leading up to the crisis that has typically brought me in. And it's not their fault. It's not the developer's fault. I'm not pointing fingers. It's just like, where do you get the information that you need in order to play to win? And let's face it, there's not much out there, and that's why we have this YouTube channel. That's why I have this in front of you, this video, to empower you, because the alternative is what? You have a lot of lunch and learns by the ULIs and NAIOPs and other real estate trade associations, and they're all great. And I've spoken at many of them across the country. But how much can you really get from a 60-minute lunch and learn? Or at best at a national conference where you have a 75-minute panelist of experts just basically reinforcing this conventional thinking, this playing not to lose, but plus, right? There's a plus where, hey, engage the community, be more proactive, but it really doesn't give you enough to really break down or let alone change that flying under the radar tendencies that this conventional thinking and this fear of failure is just overpowering, right? And so, yes, the secret is we got to go from not playing not to lose to playing to win. So how do we do this? And so if you made it this far in the video, I'm going to reward you with the case. Build your case. If you build your case in the public square, you're going to earn that license to operate every time, despite any kind of resistance that you may see from the local NIMBYs. And so CASE stands for credibility, advocacy, solutions, and education. This is the formula for success in playing to win. And so the first letter, C, is for credibility. Credibility is you have to be believable. Trust is the political currency that you need, in order to instill the confidence with the decision makers. And A is for advocacy. Obviously, it's not just you as a first party speaking to the decision makers. You need to have a chorus and coalition of allies. And what I like to say, it's not what you say as the developer or applicant, but who says it for you. And then third is solutions. How is your project solving the problems and challenges of that local community? And how are you framing it is our areas of opportunity. Every community could use more tax revenue, more good jobs. The quality of life can be defined in so many ways, and your project can bring those solutions. So instead of waiting for the opposition in their playbook to hit you, get out in front and start establishing those positives, and it will make it harder for them to chip it away. And last is education. E for education in your case. Identifying the influencers and stakeholders, framing the benefits of your project, having a narrative. If you can, humanize the project, put a face on it. For example, affordable housing. It's not just Section 8, but it's all workforce. So this is how you play to win your approvals at the local level. Now, obviously, this video is not going to give you everything you need to be successful, but it's a start. I'm humbled by the thousands of subscribers who have been following this channel, and we're growing every day. But this is really about you. And it's my privilege to have this opportunity to communicate with you, this building building your case and offering these know-hows and knowledges that will empower you to be more successful. So I want to share with you what the future of this channel looks like, because like I said, building your case is not going to be in one video, but let me share with you videos that are upcoming that you'll see the subtext of the case file, right? And showing you what's ahead that's going to give you the tools you need to be more successful. So here are some of the videos coming up. NIMBY Fog of War, turning chaos into opportunities. NIMBY Fear of Change, the unknown that fuels this chaos. How does that work? NIMBY Hotspots. It's not the location, but it's a phenomena. And so we'll talk about the hotspots in industries like affordable housing, renewable energy, and now data centers that are becoming front and center. Knowledge is power. See the new chessboard and have a better perspective that's going to give you the power to influence the decision makers. And also the NIMBY obstacle is the way. We're going to go look at the Stoic philosophy and how to control the fate of your project and how the obstacle is expected. So instead of being surprised by the NIMBYism that happens, you're more surprised if it doesn't. And with that kind of mindset, you're going to be much more empowered. So I'm excited that you are here with me in the war room. And I hope you found some of this information helpful and also exciting on what's coming down the pipeline. But I'm also humbled by the growth of this channel, the excitement that's around it, and it validates something I've always been wanting, and that is there's a community out there that wants to come together. we've been working individually in our projects, being project centric. There really isn't a community that is focused on trying to overcome this NIMBY playbook. So I want to invite you to be part of the War Room and also be a part of a relationship between us. If you have any questions or comments, leave them in the comments. But also, here's my email address right here. And I'd love to hear from you. Let's build a relationship, build a trust, and exchange information. And you just never know where it leads. You cannot have enough friends in this industry and in this line of work. And so I know I could learn just as much from you as I hope you're learning from me here in this episode. So thank you for being a part of this. I hope you're able to take this information and empower your projects now and in the future. And just know the War Room is me, and I am the War Room, so I'm always available to you to answer any questions or address any issues in upcoming episodes, or we can talk on the side. And I look forward to hearing from you. Thank you for supporting the channel. Thank you for being here now. And make sure you see this next video. It will give you a good idea of the playbook and further to empower your interests. Look forward to seeing you. See you next time.